I thought today would be an interesting time to discuss this new Victorinox knife I got. And I opened this up already, but I taped it back shut for you so we could open it up with the QSP Penguin and get that full unboxing experience. So this is, I got on pretty good deal on Amazon and brand new. And it is, as you may have guessed from the title of the video, a Victorinox Evolution S54. This is a beefy multi-tool. I got, like I said, a really good deal on this, so I snagged it when I could. I don't even have a Swiss Champ to compare this to, but this would be sort of comparable to the Swiss Champ on the other side of things. And this is my first my first new Evolution style tool, and it's my my first new Wenger style tool. So if you're not familiar, the Evolution style of scales have sort of a concavity to them. They're a little more, supposed to be more ergonomic. They have kind of spaces for your fingers to rest. And this comes from the old style of, or the older Wenger lineup of tools. So when Wenger was making tools, it's another brand of Swiss Army knife, they started kind of innovating with these new design styles. And they went out of business. I think Victorinox bought their equipment and the rights to make their style tools, and have continued that tradition in the Evolution line. So if you see a Victorinox Evolution tool, that's going to be using some of the designs from Wenger. While we're here, let's get these peels off because they're bugging me, and we will go silent for you guys who enjoy that type of thing. Bunch of degenerates. All right, here's an older Wenger tool. You can tell because it's got the square shield. And one thing that this S54 does mimic from that old of a tool is the locking blade. Let's get that out. This is obviously much older, and that blade locks right in place with the push button lock. You kind of push down and that releases the blade. Also, I didn't notice this off the bat, half stop on the knife. That is awesome. And if we compare it to, let's go to a Victorinox, you can see that the blade is going to be a little bit beefier, a little bit more of a teardrop shape. This is not going to be a video to compare it to Victorinox. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I can grab a Swiss Champ for that purpose, and we can go tool by tool and compare each one. But just wanted to show off this excellent tool. I purchased it as a reference model so that I have access to all of the different Wenger style tools that are available. Let's do a quick run through it. So on the far side, you're going to have that blade. It's got that half stop, like I said, locks out at the full position, which is super nice. You just press that and it releases the blade. Not the most ergonomic. You can see kind of a silly way to use this blade, but it does function. I think when you get to a bigger tool like this, you're more in, you're less in the era of usability. This is a really good size knife. What is this? A 1, 2, 3, 4 layer Victorinox knife. I actually acquired this knife by accident, so I don't even know what it is. But yeah, 4 layer, you can get a good handle on it, and you can apply pressure to that blade. Not really so on the bigger S54. Across on the blade, you're going to have the nail file and cleaner, as opposed to the small knife that you get on a lot of the Victorinoxes. Then you've got a pair of pliers. It's, again, similar but different to the Victorinox counterpart. These are going to have kind of that classic Wenger style hard spring. It's not going to be the little twisted wire. And that's going to mean that the pliers move as you close them. I don't see that being a huge issue. I'm going to just grab some. Yeah, I mean, you can it's pretty okay. I don't know that it's perfect, but it's a small pair of pliers on a multi-tool. These are also, I didn't know this about this, they're slip joint. So you can get a much bigger grasp on these. And they've got this little, I assume that's for wire cutting, this hole here. You can put a little wire through and either cut or strip it. Interesting tool. Let's see. And I love these kind of little innovations that Wenger made, or I don't know if they're innovations, but they're little updates to what I expect to see when I see a tool on a Victorinox knife. So you've got the metal file, very nice. Again, similar but different. The wood saw, don't see any glaring differences between the Victorinox model. Here's the screwdriver, or the magnifying glass, which is, I mean, quite small, quite an interesting little tool. I assume that could be used as a screwdriver, but I don't really like the idea of using a screwdriver, because if you start to twist this whole thing, whatever holds the glass in could get a little wonky. Not sure if that's glass, but I assume it might be. You've got your fish scaler. Let's see what's next. Probably at risk of missing some tools here, but the Wenger style scissors as well. Again, hard spring, not the twisted wire, and that means things do move a little when you press the lever, but they're also serrated. And I don't believe the Victorinox ones are. These are all Victorinox, I should say, but the ones on the Swiss Champ, a little multi-wrench, not as big as I thought, to be honest. Let's see, Phillips screwdriver. Love the inline Phillips. You can get that on the, I believe that comes on the Swiss Champ as well. Don't see any differences, because some of the tools, if I'm not mistaken, that Victorinox does, or that the Victorinox versions of these Evolution tools have, are straight off the Victorinox lineup. And some are from the older Wenger style. This is an interesting tool. It's a little ruler. You can see you've got a little bezel here, which manipulates this compass on the other side. And if I can get it to settle, you can see which direction is, I think I've got, oh, that is correct, north. Of course, yeah, when you turn the bezel, the compass wants to turn, kind of need to tap it out. I'm not super familiar with navigational tools. Oh, I didn't realize the ruler is backwards, so there's kind of this open space here, but it's designed to sit this way. Might be good for navigation. Not really familiar with that type of navigation. Haven't done it since Boy Scouts a long time ago, and didn't get very far. So then we've got the bottle opener and the can opener. I'm not sure if this is, yeah, this must be the locking style. I can't really get enough pressure, but I know on some of the Wenger tools, if you press in here, it'll seize up so it doesn't fold on you when you're pressing down hard on stuff. On the back, not as many tools as you see on the Swiss Champ. The Swiss Champ's got a very big assortment of tools here on the back. On the back of the Evolution model, you're going to have the corkscrew, and I assume that this is hard to get at, but yep, a reamer awl. And that's all you're going to have here. That's the only tools on the back. While we're sitting here, let me grab the corkscrew from the Swiss Champ. I want to see if that Phillips screwdriver, I assume they're identical. Again, why change? Yep, so that does fit. If you're interested, that will fit. There's no pin slot here like you would see on the Swiss Champ. There is a toothpick, which appears identical to the Swiss Champ 1, and tweezers. No pen either, no ballpoint pen. That is the tool set on the S54. I pulled out a few knives just for quick comparison. Obviously, I've got an older Victorinox, or excuse me, Wenger knife, which has got the knife, the Not sure if this was a knife or a file over here. It's obviously been snapped off. I bet it was the file. Can opener and the same back tools as this huge tool has. Interesting tool there. Similar size too. So as far as the length, you're going to be a little bit shorter than the 91 millimeter Victorinox models. You're going to be, yeah. So I don't know if the pinhole placements here, I don't know if these tools are interchangeable, and something I'd like to find out. But of course, to do that, I got to bust into that. Here's a newer Ecoline. Ecoline? I think that's what they call these kind of matte finish scales. I don't know. It's an interesting tool. I want to get a Swiss Champ. I've wanted a Swiss Champ for a long time. Throw it on the belt. I think it's a good like secondary tool. It's not like I'm going to whip this knife out constantly. I would much rather go to something like, hey, the QSP Penguin from before. Affiliate links in the description if you want to get your own. But I prefer the kind of normal folding knives to the Swiss Army knife, unless it's a smaller 2-layer Swiss Army knife. Like this I can carry in my pocket. This needs to go on a belt. And then you're kind of carrying like a pocket. I think they used to call these the pocket toolbox or something like that. And then you're talking about a toolbox in your pocket or on your hip, I guess. So you can, you know, tackle bigger tasks. And that's where I like something like this. I would, if I were to do my own, because this is something that's kind of been on my mind since I picked this up. What tools, and I guess I'll ask you guys too, what tools would you want? What tools would you eliminate from this in order to get down to a more reasonable size? If let's say we wanted to go to maybe a 4 or a 5-layer tool, just to get that in the realm of easy to carry, what tools would you carry? I think right off the bat, I could go eliminate the knife, but I think that that's an important enough tool. We're going to keep it on there because, again, I carry a second knife or a primary knife. This would only be secondary, I should say. What I would love to have is this Phillips layer. The Phillips layer with the multi-wrench. This is not going to do big work. We know that. We know in my opinion, multi-tools aren't for the big work. You can drive about a 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch hex bit, so you can see it'll drive that no problem. You can drive a little bit bigger than that as well. If I need bigger, I'm going to go grab a toolbox. And having that full-size Phillips is that's the one I go for, you know. That's the tool I need the most often. I have always said you can eliminate the liner layer for me, or excuse me, the opener layer. I don't need the can opener or the bottle opener. That's why I like the compact as kind of my everyday carry Swiss Army knife, is because you get the flathead without anything else. You don't have all that extra crud, and you don't have to take up a whole layer. But if we did the knife and this layer, what other layers would we want? I think I would go with the saw and the file. That might be unorthodox. Skip the pliers. Skip the scissors. People love Victorinox scissors. These are a little bit different, but still quite capable. But I think I would go, I love these files for little like workshop tasks. And that saw will cut through darn near anything. And if you can't do it with that saw, you can do it with the edge file, which is basically a saw of its own. So there's 4 layers, right? I think you give me those 4. And you give me, and you give me the pliers. It'd be a beefy tool, but you'd eliminate a lot of the stuff that you're probably not going to use. You don't need the fish scaler. You know what I mean? That's not a necessity for most people most of the time. You eliminate the magnifying glass. Again, that's a cool thing. It's nice to have that small screwdriver, but I'm probably going to break that pretty quickly. I don't need the navigational aid for everyday use. The compass and the ruler, that is. I think you give me the knife, the pliers, the 2 saws, and the Phillips wrench layer. I think you give me that, I am a happy camper. And if you want to do me one better, you take that flathead bottle opener and you move that in the place of the nail file. So I have a little prying tool. And I think that's the perfect evolution. Okay, so let's see if you guys have let me know in the comments what you guys would do if you were going to do that, because it's kind of an intriguing thought. I need to pull up the SAC wiki and find out if that tool exists, because I might have to pick one up for my own purposes. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. S54, Evolution S54, really interesting tool. I don't mind those scales. I think in a smaller knife, I would be on board. I do like that additional, honestly, the length of that 91 millimeter Victorinox is kind of nice. Even in that, I mean, that's obviously a 2-layer, a lot slimmer, but I think this could grow on me. I think you could slip that in a pouch on the hip and you'd be a happy camper. So let me know down below. We'll catch you in the next video.